Ooh, what's up, folks? El Milagro and Other Stories by Patricia Preciado Martin. Oh my God. This is a beautifully written book. And I love the size of it because mine is just, my book is, drive it with no hands, not looking. My book is 14 pages more than this, right? So I feel confident when I see books this thin that are so good and, well, popular, but this one isn't popular. And that's the problem. Oh, it's not a problem, but it's a shame. This is, everybody, not everybody, but a very common book is The House on Mango Street, right? Or La Casa on Mango Street. Is that the name of the Spanish version? La Casa on Mango Street? I don't know. But everybody, heard of that book. And it's good. It's that's a beautiful. La Casa by Sandra Cisneros. Sandra Cisneros. That book is as good as this one, El Milagro. This book is as good as Sandra Cisneros' book, but I don't think anybody's ever heard of it. I think the only reason I found it, that it exists in a bookstore, is because she lives in or is from Tucson, and I'm in Tucson, right? Went to a local used bookstore and was looking for Steve Martin's book, Shop Girl, because, and this is what's cool, kind of getting on track, but when I was looking at, I wanted to look at the page count for Shop Girl, because ironically, I subtitled my book a novella because I remember seeing the book Shop Girl and the subtitle was a novella. And at the time I was like, what the fuck is a novella? Well, 20 years later I wrote one. And so when I went to rename it, I named it, I thought of Steve Martin's book, and Shop Girl, and the subtitle was a novella. So that's why my book subtitle is a novella. Anyways, I wanted to compare price, I wanted to compare page count. So I looked up Shop Girl. Well, it had negative reviews about how erotic it was and how much sex there was. And those negative reviews made me want to buy it. Not because I'm a sex-starved old man, but because I'm writing, there's a little bit of erotica in my book, and I want to write it, I want to see how other people write. And I don't want it to be dirty stuff. I don't want it to, I avoid using curse words. I avoid using anything as much as possible, anything that people would be offended by, but there is sex in it. So I'm telling you all this for a reason. I swear to God. Oh my God. So I go to the bookstore and I go to look for Shop Girl, and of course the author's name is Steve Martin. Well, right next to Steve Martin is Patricia Martin. Martin is spelled the same, and I'm like, what is this? It's called El Milagro, and I'm like, let me check this out. And I looked and saw that it was published by University of Arizona Press. I read the title, the bio, that she was from Tucson, and I was like, oh, I gotta get this. And I had no idea. I looked this book up, El Milagro, I looked it up on Amazon, no reviews, none. And even said just 2 left in stock. Like, I don't know if it's out of print or what, but this book is as good as any magical realism novel, novella out there. as good as any author, no matter how popular or famous. This woman, I have trouble with her middle name, Patricia Preciado Martin, is a talented and gifted writer, and this book is beautiful. One thing I've noticed that I'm really starting to like is short entries, short chapters. Sandra Cisneros did it in The House on Mango Street. Everybody, all these magical realism stories do that. They write these little short vignettes, is what I've heard people call them. And I really, really like that. One, because that's all my attention span can handle sometimes. And two, because that's how I want to write, because of my attention span. So, if you like The House on Mango Street, if you like any magical realism, if you like a coming of age story, if you like Chicanas, right? This is the first book. I don't know where Sandra Cisneros is born. This is the first book that I'm pretty sure is the first book, magical realism book, written by, that I've read, by a Mexican-American woman. And the thing about being Mexican-American is you're not Mexican, you're not white, you're not United States. You are a United States citizen, but you're not easily accepted as a United States citizen, right? Either way, you're not white, you're not from Mexico, you're somewhere in between, and in there is a world only Chicanos or Mexican Americans, whatever you want to call it. I hate Chicano, but that's what it is. Right? There's a world only Chicanos understand. And this is the first book that I've read that is specifically written by one, specifically for like, anybody can read it. It's like George Lopez, right? Everybody thinks George Lopez is funny, but unless you're Mexican American, you're not gonna completely understand every joke, or you're not gonna appreciate each joke fully. This book being written by a Mexican American, and one that grew up in Tucson, so you're reading about Congress Street and the east side of Tucson and the Rincon Mountains and the Catalina Mountains. It's really, really cool. So I'm giving this 5 out of 5 tamales. I don't care. And Patricia Martin is 77 years old right now. I wish she was on Twitter, or I wish she was on Instagram. My guess is she don't give a shit about any of that, because I would love to tell her how wonderful this book is. Alright, that's it. 5 out of 5 tamales. I would appreciate it. My book's on pre-sale, 99 cents. That's not bad. That's not a bad deal. 99 cents. Get my magical realism book that I wrote here in Tucson in the back of this van. I'd appreciate it if you would pre-order it for 99 cents. You can find it on Amazon. I'll have a link down below. And if you want to read the first chapter, I'll put a link right here. Boop, boop. All right, peace out.